wee fella said it was his birthday. He says, he down in the night. He says, he thought it was my birthday next week. What are you buying me? I think kids is ruined. I honestly got it. And I'm very fond of kids. I went to school with them. I didn't. I used to go on myself like years ago. I said to him, it's your birthday next week. He says, yeah, I was doing the term at the bicycle shop, and I've had my eye on a wee bike, and it's only 75 pounds. Say, well, keep your eye on your ass and never be on that. Come in the other day crammed from school. He says, ever you beaten the game? He says, no, it wasn't. Play what he crammed for. He says, the master give me 6 slaps in each hand. Say, he must have done something. She know just because I didn't know where the Himalayas was. I'd have learned you put things where you get them. Well, I made a mind the other day. Say, Polly, you're very darn hard. What's the matter? But he says, it's my wife. My wife, she my wife, nag all the time. Say, you're lucky you only came out of the next Easter. See, how do you get on with your wife? Say, I got on all right with my wife. I got a colour television set for her last week. See, I was all right. That wasn't a bad swap. Now, my wife's funny now. Honest to God, and she's a good enough cook. Now, you ever get chips made out of smash? Slice the chips, aren't you? Can you mix them up, Polly, for a lovely bit? I was going out to work the other morning, halfway up the street, the light caused me back. Oh, you're in a bit of a hurry, missus, in the morning. You know, I'm halfway up the street, and the light caused me back, and I went back to the house, and I didn't forget my lunch. No, you didn't forget your lunch. Every morning you run up that street, you haven't time to say your iron or goodbye, and you're not ready to go. There's a man up there, and he can give his mistress a hug and a squeeze and a kiss. Could you not do that? Sure, that's right. I don't know the woman. Went to the doctors last week. Wasn't feeling too well, went to the doctors. And I'm sitting waiting on the doctor to call me, and this fella came in. This fella came in. Now, him was on the television. I was calling him. And I have a prescription. Is that what he said? Well, this fella came in shaking like a chip. I was good. I says, I have you the flu. He says, I'm just like a jelly baby. I was looking for the doctor. I hit the heady. And the doctor called me in. Come in, he says, I was done. You know the way when the doctors get examined. You know, I was in. The doctor looked at me. He says, you're a good man, you're very close. Have you flu? Say, no, I walked it. He says, let me see your tongue. No, they examined me. I put the tongue out. He says, you have a very dirty tongue. So I want to hear my mother. She talks to her nose and her squirt out. Hey, well, Mulligan knows her, don't you, Mulligan? She's a bit of a glamour girl, and I never knew there was such a place as the Lonely Hearts Club. And she sent her photograph away to the Lonely Hearts Club to send it back again and said they weren't that lonely. You're not kidding. She got her photograph taken one time in the Ashley studio. She's a bit of a glamour girl, you know. Red hair, no hair, just a red hair. And she got her photograph and they actually put it, she gave me her photograph. She said, I put that right see and I put it on top of the mantelpiece. It keeps the children right from far. Honest to God, it does it. She came into our house one night, I'm right joking now, and my wee fella, as soon as he seen her coming in, he ran away out and he brought a big bucket and he sat in the middle of the floor. I said, what's he going to do? He turned around to the drumming. See, Granny, will you give that bucket a kick? She see what for, son? See, my dad says, you kick a bucket, he'll buy me a new bike. Heard in the run last Sunday in the motor away at Glenneil. I knew at Glenneil. I go out there on a Sunday for duck eggs. There's only place you can get them there. Very hard to get, aren't they? And I stopped an old farmer out the road at Glenneil. He said, Mr. The 6-year ducks had stopped laying. See, how do you know, Sam, after run over? And I could have had no better luck killing the poor man's ducks. No, man, there. And I started off that I got a puncture in the motor and I don't jack it up to fix it. And I said, well, I was stuck here. And this fella came in on a big Jaguar car and I waved him down. He says, are you having trouble with your car? I'm after getting a puncture, maybe you can help. Oh, he says, I'm not a mechanic, I'm a sheriff at this time, give us a tow. I was coming around behind locks on, and one of the soldiers put his hand up like this, and I was coming in the motor car, and he said, would you mind putting your car inside there, please? I said, what do you mean? Oh, put it inside it. Is this your car? I said, yes, sir. He says, are you the driver? I said, well, it's automatic, now the steers. I was the only one on it, you know. He said, why do you keep your door open so I'll have a clutch out? He says to me, would you mind getting our boots and your boot, please? I said, what do you want my boot? Come on, up your boot. So I put the lacer in my boot, you know. He says, what are you doing? So I'll open my boot for you. I don't mean that, but he says the boot at the back is sitting to it. And they open up the boot, and I open up the boot at the back, you know, and I had a big frying pan down the boot. He says, what's this here? He says, it's a frying pan. And what have they got that for? So in case you're out at night, you can dip your lights. And he was going to take my name. He took his notebook and he says, could I have your name, please? So I beg your pardon. He says, could I have your name, please? Who says I couldn't give you my name? He says, why not? So I'm not the salt today. Two fellas hijacked a helicopter and they flew away with the helicopter after got it started. And after about an hour, the helicopter crashed and Tony turned around and said, did you touch any of them knobs? He says, that farm was giving me a sore head and I switched it off. Well, here, it's very hard to get up. See this hotel? It's one of them held this wee bit near the turn. It's a wee bit far out here. They said an awful job getting here. Then I stopped the taxi on there and the boss come up. Says, hey, could you run me up the Green and Lodge? Says, yeah, that'll be £5. You want me to run you up there? Say, £5? Say, you charging me for my luggage? Oh, he says, I'll take it for none. Say, I'll take it and I'll walk it. Taxi men, I don't know what to charge you, you know. They squeezed me in one night in one of them black taxis, and I was squeezed to death at Christmas, and I never forget it. I was suffocated away in the corner, and this big woman sitting miney in the taxi, and she turned around to me. She said, if you were half a man, you would give me your seat. Same as if I was half a man, I'd been in the circus. The taxi had a big bump in the road, and this other woman, it was packed at the time, this other woman facing me in the taxi, you know, all these seats in the front. Her glass eye fell out, and I picked it up. Say, Mrs. Adopt, oh, she said, thank you very much, you're a gentleman. Would you like to marry me? Say, what for? It's the only man ever caught my eye. Oh, dear, a fellow said to me, and he says, he must have heard the nearest boozer around here say, I'm him. See, if you want me 10p to get a pint, say, there's 20p, give me more than that. Well, I was only kidding him on. I brought him in for a drink. And after I had a couple of drinks, I called the barman over. I said, he serves spirits in here. He says, but do you say there's two boogie men at the top of the bar? But there was a big American having a drink in the bar, and this fella from America, and I got into conversation with him. I said, what part of America from yourself? Well, he said, have you ever New York City? I said, no, it was never New York. It was New Barnsley. It was never New York. Well, he says, I don't know what that is, but you'd like New York, he says. I'm a salesman in New York. I sell salt. So I used to be a salt seller. He said, chick. I tried to have coming away from America, you know, don't make a wee bit of Irish hospitality. I'd like to buy you a drink. Do you drink? Well, he says, do they serve American drinks? I'll have an American drink. Say, well, what is it, and then get it for you. He says, a glass of sherry with a cherry in it. So I give him an American drink, a glass of sherry, and I have an Irish drink. He says, what's that? That paint be an onion on it. And they do really buses, don't they? And they're always bumming their money. We heard about the bums of everything was back in America, the skyscrapers and everything. Everything was like the motor cars and everything. And I brought them round, and we're crossing a wee fruit shop. He says to me, what's those little red cherries? I said, they have Irish tomatoes, they're not cherries. Irish tomatoes, gee whiz, our tomatoes in America, they're like mountains. So he left the big cabbage. I put that Brussels sprout out of your hand. I'm taking a bit softer than straight. Well, listen, I'm going to sing a song now. This is an Irish piece written by the famous Hungarian composer, Roger Bonnington. He wrote this piece shortly after he died. It's very hard to sing it now. Oh, in the days I went shall we return for sure to see again the girl we love from the holy arm once more. Hey, pretty girl, I do adore, and sure I'll return home to see the holy garden once more. Fine girl you are. La 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 la. Oh, viva la 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 la. Viva la España. And if you'd like to chat the matador, and song to Cabana, mi señoritas by the store. España palavo. All the ladies fell out with Valentino. He was a vino back in the family day. But perhaps you meet a lovely creature. You have to teach her how to love the Spanish way. And even though we're standing in the rain, you'll always hear me singing this refrain. All together now. All in here I'm of the summer. Viva la by the shore, España palavo. Pa la 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 la. La 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 la. Pa la 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 la. Oh, viva la España. And if you'd like to chat a matador in song for Cabana, señoritas on the score, España palavo. Away. Well, finish off with a music hall number 9, it's all know it. All the girls in the back here, he's all singing up now, please. On the candy store, stand down Paradise Road. I sing with Nanny, she was sent with Joe. She has a hole in her frock, and a hole in her shirt, and a hole in her stocking, and her toe peeps through. But Nanny, she's the smartest darn Arnie. On Mother Kelly's doorstep, I'm wondering now if my little gal's down. She'd be like her soul, her poor wife, does she love me like she used to? On Mother Kelly's doorstep, down Paradise Road. Come on now, sing up this time, hold me by it. Oh, we ain't gathered a lot of money. Maybe we're ragged and we're funny, but we're traveling alone, sharing our loan, side by side. And we all got troubles and heartaches. Oh, we've been the same as we started, just rocking and roll, sharing our loan, side by side. And through all kinds of weather, just whatever rain may fall, just as long as we're together, when the really doesn't matter at all. and sorrow, but we'll be the soon tomorrow, sharing our load and walking our road. Side by
March 3rd, Belfast, and the sole topic of conversation is, where is Jackie Patterson? For on that evening, he was due to defend his world flyweight title against the local idol, Rinty Monaghan. Half an hour before weigh-in time, Patterson had not arrived in the country. But 4 minutes past 2, the great cheer went up from Ulster Hall, where thousands had packed their way in, and Jackie Patterson walked rather wearily and looking very wan indeed across to the stage where the all-important weigh-in would take place. Would he make the weight? That was the big question. Great cheer went up as Patterson made the weight. Promoter Bob Gardner looks very happy indeed about the whole thing, as does the title holder and the fight fans who had assembled hours before for the dramatic moment when Patterson would weigh in. Early before the appointed hour of the fight, thousands had packed their way into King's Hall. Pressmen had already sent out countless stories of this great drama that had involved itself around the world's flyweight title match. Distinguished guests arrived at the appointed hour, and everything was in readiness for the start of the world's flyweight title match between Rinty Monaghan of Belfast and Jackie Patterson, the defending champion from Glasgow. A great cheer goes up in King's Hall as Rinty Monaghan, the challenger, is first to appear. Not having had making the weight, he's full of spirit and confidence, and he dances gaily into his corner. He's closely followed by the defending champion, Jackie Patterson, still looking very tired indeed after his battle against the scales. Patterson walks across the ring, where he greets his opponent, Rinty Monaghan. Officials gather together for the all-familiar scene of just before fight time, and the announcement from the ring.
Jackie Patterson,
Announcements completed. Both boxers are in the corner ready for the opening bell of this 15-round world flyweight title match. And Monaghan supporters cheer themselves hoarse as the two fighters go to the center of the ring to receive final instructions from referee Tommy Lytle. Pressmen still peer apprehensively at the scene inside the squared ring. Monaghan dancing on his toes, still very confident indeed. Patterson looking rather worried in his... And they wait for the bell. Round one. Monaghan usually is quick to take advantage of his marked advantage in weight and strength, and goes to the attack much quicker than he's usually wont to do. Patterson, retreating in his usual familiar southpaw style, is backing up constantly from the opening bell. Monaghan tries to bring the attack to close quarters, and they wrestle and maul each other in the center, with Tommy Little keeping an ever-close watch on proceedings, following the two fighters around very quickly and very closely. Monaghan, a right to the head, follows up with another right, which is wide of the mark, and he has Patterson in trouble in the corner early on in the opening round. Monaghan still adopting his forcing tactics, is crowding into the attack at every available opportunity. Patterson is still adhering to his formula of keeping on the retreat. He's on his bicycle at every opportunity. Monaghan slips, but it's only a slip, and they're going to a clinch right in the neutral corner. They're parted by referee Tommy Lytle as the bell goes to end round one. And the much-discussed World Flyweight title championship bout is finally underway, officially. Referee Tommy Lytle marks the all-important scorecard. Raymond Glendenning sends out a blow-by-blow description to BBC listeners. And round two. Monaghan still crouching with that right hand of his, devastating, lethal weapon that he has in that right hand, always cocked, ready to go. Patterson crouching in the corner, trying to bull his way out. Monaghan very deftly feints him off with lefts and rights. Both boxers watching each other carefully, and Patterson misses with the left hook, and Monaghan counters with a beautiful right to the jaw, and down goes the defending champion, and he's in trouble. He appeals to referee Tommy Lytle for some infraction that he claims Monaghan is guilty of. Referee ignores the appeal, continues the count. Monaghan, in his anxiety to get in the finishing punch, nearly knocks referee Tommy Lytle out of the ring and crowds into the attack. Pummels Patterson around the ring, Patterson on his bicycle again, backing away with Monaghan on the attack, and in his anxiety to put the finishing touches to the defending champion, he's a bit wild, and Patterson clinches and holds on desperately. Round three. Patterson still adhering to that formula of his of keeping away. Monahan slowing up just a little bit, playing it safe. Suddenly rushes into the attack, and they clinch and maul each other in the corner with Patterson shoving away the challenger. Finally, Monahan moves into the attack, and at this stage, the fight took on a rather dull note, for Patterson, by virtue of his retreating tactics, just kept moving around the ring in circles. Monahan, playing it very safe, as he should play it, of course, was content to wait it out because he had more strength than Patterson. And at this point, the crowd started to clap and ask for action. The referee stops the fight and warns both fighters that they're fighting for the world's flyweight title. And the people who have gathered in King's Hall are worthy of such a fight, and he tells the boys to get on with it. Monahan is the first to take the referee's words to heart, and he goes in and tries to mix it, continuing his attack, and Patterson continues his mauling and retreating tactics. And it was the same for the next few rounds, with Patterson still adhering to his retreating tactics, and by this time he was holding his own throughout the next 3 or 4 rounds. Monahan, playing it safe, realizing his advantage in strength, was content to bide his time, constantly piling up points by a non-stop attack. Round 7. And encouraged by the fact that he's almost reached the halfway mark, Patterson is off his stool quicker for this round than any preceding round. Monahan still playing it very carefully, watches his opponent very closely, moves in quickly, and they spin each other around on the far side. The referee, Tommy Lytle, moving in closely as ever, watching for any infractions that may occur. Over the ropes and a right to the body, and down goes Patterson, and he's in trouble. Patterson's going to beat the count. He just manages to get up on the count of 9. He staggers to his feet. He's in trouble. Monahan rushes in for the kill. He measures his man carefully, fumbles him about the head and body to the ropes. Vicious right hook to the jaw. Now an uppercut. Now a left and a right uppercut to the body. And Patterson gets set to go down jaw. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and out. And there's a new world's flyweight title holder, Rinty Monahan of Belfast, who is immediately mobbed by his handlers in the ring. People stand up and cheer themselves wild at King's Hall. Delirious handlers of Monahan lift him up and start to cheer him, while Patterson, the recent champion, is carried to his corner, still in a very dazed and knocked out condition. Victor and Banquers pose for the photographers. Monahan obviously the happier of the two. Patterson still looking very wan and worried. His Excellency, the Governor of Northern Ireland, Lord Granville, climbs through to congratulate the new title holder. No need to ask who they back. Good luck to the new world's flyweight title holder, Rinty Monahan of Belfast.
Rinty Monahan, the singing boxer from Belfast, faced Dado Marino of Hawaii following the last-minute collapse of the flyweight title holder, Jackie Patterson. Heavy rain at Glasgow's Hampden Park made conditions far from ideal, but that didn't prevent the fight getting off to a flying start. With a lightning punch in his first attack, Monahan puts Marino down and the crowd roared. Well, that was Marino's only real setback, and from this point onwards he showed real fighting quality, slamming home some vicious rights with telling effect. Round 9, and now the referee steps in, disqualifies Monaghan for holding, and declares Dado Marino the winner. Anyway, defeated or not, Monaghan was soon...
Donegal Street had to be closed to traffic to accommodate the crowds who turned up for this morning's funeral mass in St. Patrick's Church. Champions of the past and the present joined relatives of the man recognised as one of Ireland's all-time greats. And a floral tribute in the shape of a boxing ring was a final reminder of the days 35 years ago when John Rinty Monaghan ruled the flyweight world.
At St. Patrick's in Donegal Street. There were wreaths from many of Rinty's boxing friends, and dozens of ex-boxers paid their respects. Among them, former world champion Freddie Gilroy and former British bantam champion Paddy Maguire. The church itself was packed with mourners. An estimated 800 people attended the 30-minute mass.
This is the word of the Lord.
Hundreds more lined the streets outside as the funeral, with many familiar faces, made its way to the cemetery. Among the mourners, Malcolm Brodie and Paddy Devlin. Boxing manager Barney Eastwood, old pros like Johnny Caldwell, and present-day ones like Davy Larmour. The size of the watching crowd emphasised the esteem in which Rinty Monaghan was held.
Got good news. Gentleman, man beloved by many. That's what our life here is all about. Touching people, bringing joy, bringing happiness, making friends.
The gathering at St. Patrick's was like a who's who of Irish boxing, past and present. Names like Billy and Johnny Warnock, Jimmy Ingle and Bunty Doran, Freddie Gilroy and John Caldwell, Jerry Hassett and Paddy Maguire. Promoter Barney Eastwood was there, along with present champions Davy Larmour and Hugh Russell. Many of the mourners were too young to have seen Rinty Monaghan in action, but they knew him as a great champion who was quick to share his skills with others. A floral tribute in the shape of a boxing ring and gloves was a final reminder of the great days of the 1940s, the days when John Rinty Monaghan was king of the world's flyweights.
An uppercut, now a left and a right uppercut to the body, and Patterson gets set to go down with a right to the jaw. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and out. And there's a new world's flyweight title holder, Rinty Monaghan of Belfast.
That was my life. Before I was song and dance man, that's what I remember. The boxing, I didn't really know much about it. I went with him to boxing matches and all, listened to him and all, giving his views. But it was mostly a song and dance man, I remember.
And present today were the Rintonians, the show band he formed, and his brother to sing the song which followed every boxing victory.
You're